Imagine a man who doesn't just step into the gym. He storms into it like a monster waking up from the depths. This is Nick Walker, a name that sends shockwaves across the bodybuilding world. A physique that looks less like it was carved by hard work, and more like it was summoned out of steel, grit, and pure fury. Nick Walker is not your average lifter. He's not even your average pro. He is something else entirely. They call him the mutant, and when you see him, you understand why. His body looks like it belongs to another species. Wide, freakish shoulders stretching like armored walls, arms swollen to the size of cannons, veins crawling across his skin like battle scars. His midsection tight, thick, and powerful, like a fortress built to withstand anything. This isn't just muscle, this is monster muscle. From the moment Nick walks on stage, or even steps into the gym, eyes lock onto him. People don't just see him, they feel him. It's the kind of presence that makes the room smaller, makes everyone else look human while he looks like something beyond human. His traps rise up like mountains. His chest spreads like wings of a beast ready to strike, and every pose is an explosion of raw, violent muscle. Nick Walker isn't just about size. He's about dominance. His training is brutal, unforgiving, and relentless. Every rep looks like it's fueled by rage. Every set is a war, and every session is another brick added to the wall of this living monster. He doesn't back down. He doesn't slow down. He trains like the iron owes him something, and he doesn't stop until he takes it. What separates Nick from the rest is not just his freak factor. It's his mindset. He is obsessed. The mutant doesn't just want to win, he wants to destroy. He wants to stand in front of the world and show them what impossible looks like. His arms, his shoulders, his back, his legs, they're all oversized, overpowered, and overdeveloped to the point where people question if he's even real. And when he poses, when Nick Walker hits a front double biceps, it's like the stage trembles. His arms balloon with freakish size. His waist tightens like a coiled spring, and his quads flare so wide they look like tree trunks cut from stone. Side chest. It's not even a chest anymore. It's a shield, a wall of meat and muscle. Back double biceps. Forget it. It's a mountain range stretching from trap to trap, every inch carved, every fiber detailed like a roadmap of destruction. Nick's rise in bodybuilding has been nothing short of terrifying. From his early pro years to standing against the giants at the biggest shows in the world, he has shown time and time again that he's not here just to participate. He's here to dominate. His fans call him unstoppable. His competitors? They fear the day they stand next to him under the lights. Because next to Nick Walker, you don't look like a pro. You look like prey. And that's the thing. Nick is not chasing anybody. He is hunting. Every training session, every meal, every drop of sweat, it's all part of the hunt. The mutant is building himself into a creature so powerful, so freakishly overwhelming. That the only option left is to acknowledge the monster standing before you. Nick Walker is proof that when obsession meets discipline, when work ethic meets rage, and when genetics meet unbreakable will, you don't get a bodybuilder. You get a monster. And this monster isn't done yet. Because for Nick Walker, the mission is clear. Destroy limits, shatter expectations, and become the freakiest, most unstoppable force the sport has ever seen. The world calls him the mutant. But when you see him, you'll know Nick Walker is the monster every other bodybuilder fears. Rubio Mascara, the Colombian beast, is not just a bodybuilder. He is a walking force of nature. His presence is so massive, so overwhelming, that when he steps on stage, the entire arena feels smaller. This is not a man sculpted by ordinary means. This is a monster built from raw iron, discipline, and a hunger that can never be contained. From the very beginning, Rubio's physique screamed destiny. His frame was built for domination, his muscle fibers thick as steel cables, his proportions otherworldly. Standing tall with the width of a machine and the density of a war tank, Mascara redefined what it means to be human in the bodybuilding world. Every detail of his body, from the chest that looks like slabs of armor to the back that spreads like the wings of a dragon, makes him appear less like a competitor and more like a creature of pure power. When Rubiel trains, it isn't just a workout. It's war. The barbell bends in his grip, the dumbbells tremble in his hands, and the very gym around him struggles to contain the storm of his energy. His arms look like loaded cannons, his quads resemble the trunks of ancient trees, and his delts sit on his frame like carved boulders, stacked perfectly to create the image of a beast designed for battle. What sets Mascara apart isn't just his size. It's the freak factor, the proportions that make even the most seasoned bodybuilders stare in disbelief. His vascularity snakes across his physique like bolts of lightning. His conditioning so sharp that every flex slices through the stage lights. When he poses, he doesn't simply perform. He destroys. Each movement is a shockwave, each transition a storm. Against him, other competitors look human, but Rubiel appears to be something else entirely, something monstrous. His rise in bodybuilding has been fast, furious, and terrifying. Fans call him a genetic alien. Coaches call him unstoppable, and his fellow competitors whisper his name with respect and fear. What makes him even more dangerous is that he's still evolving. Every season, Rubiel doesn't just improve. He mutates into something bigger, denser, sharper, and more fearsome. He is not chasing the competition because the competition can no longer keep up. They are running from him, trying to escape the shadow he casts across the sport. In the gym, the beast comes alive. The sound of weights crashing is drowned out by the roar of his effort, the atmosphere charged with his intensity. His veins erupt, his muscles swell, and each rep looks like a battle between man and metal. Rubiel does not train for aesthetics, he trains for war. He trains to conquer the stage, to look like a nightmare carved in flesh and bone, to unleash the monster that lives inside him every time he flexes. Rubio Mosquera is not just another competitor in bodybuilding. He is the freak, the beast, the monster who redefines the meaning of human potential. His muscle density, his fullness, his monstrous conditioning make him one of the most dangerous men in the sport today. And the truth is, the bodybuilding world isn't ready for him. The stage isn't ready. The lights aren't ready. Because when Rubio Mosquera steps onto that stage, he doesn't walk. He erupts. He doesn't compete. He dominates. This is Rubio Mosquera, the monster, the mutant, the legend in the making. And once he takes his place on the Olympia stage, the sport will never be the same again. Samson Dauda, a name that strikes fear and respect every time it echoes in the world of bodybuilding. They call him the Nigerian Lion, and for a reason. When this beast steps on stage, the atmosphere changes. The lights hit his skin, and suddenly, every other competitor looks small. Samson isn't just a bodybuilder. He's a dangerous force of nature, a walking weapon of mass muscle, built to dominate. Look at his size. Look at his shape. His physique isn't just big, it's terrifying. Broad shoulders that stretch wide like the gates of a fortress. Arms so thick and vascular, they look like steel cables ready to snap. A chest carved out of stone, layered with muscle on muscle. And those quads, monstrous, sweeping thighs that crush the ground with every step, like the legs of a gladiator charging into battle. Samson Dauda doesn't walk the stage. He stomps it, like a predator circling its prey. What makes him dangerous isn't just the muscle. It's the combination, mass with aesthetics, power with symmetry, size with flow. Competitors look at him and see a nightmare. Because he's not just a giant. He's a giant with shape, with detail, with razor-sharp conditioning. He's a freak of nature. Built in a way that defies logic. Every vein, every cut, every striation. It's a reminder that Samson has turned his body into a weapon. And when he poses, it's over. The crowd roars, the stage shakes, and judges can't ignore the presence of a monster who looks like he was sculpted by fire and iron. Front double biceps? It's like watching a mountain erupt. Side chest? pure granite exploding under the lights. Rear lat spread, a living wall blocking out the sun. His physique is so overwhelming, it leaves his rivals in shock, fighting for second place. But here's the most dangerous part. Samson Dauda is still getting better. Every year, every season, he adds more size, more conditioning, more dominance. His hunger is unrelenting. His drive is lethal. He's not just satisfied with being good. He wants to be the best. He wants to destroy anyone who stands in his way. On the road to Mr. Olympia, he's not coming to compete. He's coming to conquer. Imagine standing next to him on stage. Imagine hitting your best pose, and then realizing Samson is beside you, dwarfing you, out-angling you, out-muscling you. That's not competition, that's annihilation. That's the nightmare every pro bodybuilder faces when they know Samson is in the lineup. He doesn't just show up. He dominates. He intimidates. He takes the spotlight and doesn't give it back. Samson Dauda is the definition of dangerous in bodybuilding. Dangerous because he's massive. Dangerous because he's aesthetic. Dangerous because he's relentless. His physique is a weapon, his presence is a threat, and his mindset is unshakable. This is not just muscle. This is not just size. This is war. And Samson Dauda is the lion leading the charge. When he roars on stage, everyone else stays silent. When he spreads those wings of muscle, the arena bows. Samson isn't chasing glory. He's taking it. He's rewriting what danger looks like in bodybuilding. And as the battles for Olympia rage on, one thing is certain. Standing against Samson Dauda isn't just competition. It's survival. Because when the Nigerian lion hunts, nobody is safe. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself. Because what I'm about to show you isn't just bodybuilding. It's a living nightmare made of pure muscle. This is the Persian wolf, Hadi Choopan, a man who doesn't just step into the gym. He storms into it like a beast breaking out of his cage. Look at him. Every inch of his body screams dominance. veins exploding like fire through his skin, muscles carved so deep they look like they were sculpted with steel. Hadi isn't just big, he's monstrous. A creature of pure determination, forged in pain, sacrifice, and endless discipline. Born in Iran, Hadi Choopan fought his way to the top, and when I say fought, I mean it. This man went from humble beginnings to standing among the titans of the world. But Hadi isn't just another bodybuilder chasing size. No, he's a wolf. Ruthless, relentless, always hunting, always ready to strike. His chest looks like slabs of concrete stacked on top of each other. His arms, massive cannons ready to tear through anything in their way. His shoulders, boulders wide enough to carry the weight of an entire world. And those legs, tree trunks with so much density. It's like Mother Nature herself built them from stone. But it's not just the size, it's the detail. The striations, the insane cuts. His physique is like a road map of war, each line carved by years of suffering, grinding, and refusing to give up. When Hadi flexes, It's not just a pose, it's an explosion, a warning, a roar from the Persian wolf that tells the world, I am here to dominate. And dominate he did, rising through the ranks, proving the critics wrong, showing that nothing could hold him back. Not language barriers, not politics, not distance, nothing. Hadi Choopan took his dream, ripped it apart, and rebuilt it with his bare hands. And when he stepped on the Olympia stage, he shook the world. The crowd roared his name. The bodybuilding world froze. Because in that moment, they realized they were not looking at a man anymore. They were looking at a force of nature. They were looking at chaos wrapped in human form. They were looking at the Persian wolf. Every rep he does in the gym is brutal. Every set is war. You can see it in his eyes. He doesn't train to look good. He trains to destroy. He trains to unleash something inside him that normal people can't even imagine. The pain that would break others is fuel for him. The grind that would crush the weak is just another step forward. Hadi Choopan isn't just a bodybuilder. He's a nightmare for anyone who dares to stand next to him. A storm in human skin. A monster that cannot be tamed. And whether you love him or fear him, one thing is certain. You will never forget him. So the next time you see him step under those blinding lights, remember, this is not just a man. This is not just muscle. This is the wolf from Iran. The monster who clawed his way from the shadows to the throne. The one and only Hadi Choopan. Because legends are remembered, but monsters? Monsters are never forgotten. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves, because what you're about to witness is not just muscle. It's not just size. This is a living beast of power, a creature built out of steel, stone, and fire. This is Andre Smeev, the man they call the human juggernaut. From the moment he steps into sight, the ground itself feels heavier. His frame is massive, shoulders exploding out like armored shields, arms as thick as iron pillars, and a chest that looks carved by some ancient god of war. Every vein runs like a lightning strike across his skin, every muscle cut sharper than a blade. This isn't just bodybuilding, this is body domination. Andre Smeev carries a presence that makes people stop in their tracks. The kind of physique that forces silence before the storm, where eyes widen, jaws drop, and minds whisper the same thing. Is this man even real? He's the kind of monster that turns concrete gyms into battlegrounds, dumbbells into weapons, and training sessions into war zones. Look at the width of his back, spread so wide it's like a wall blocking out the sun. His traps rise like mountains, His arms coil like anacondas ready to crush, and when he clenches his fists, it's pure destruction waiting to be unleashed. His abs, not just 6, not just 8, but slabs of granite stacked on top of each other, looking like an armored shield protecting the beast within. And the intensity. Oh, the intensity. When Andre trains, there are no half reps, no shortcuts, no easy paths. It's war every single set, a battle between man and metal. You can hear the weights screaming under his power. You can see the sweat pouring like fire through his veins, and you can feel the unstoppable energy radiating from his body. He doesn't lift, he destroys. He doesn't train, he transforms. Andre Smeeve has turned pain into fuel, discipline into muscle, and years of sacrifice into one of the most jaw-dropping physiques the world has ever seen. He is proof that the human body can be rebuilt. People look at him and see a man, but in truth, they're staring at a tank, an unstoppable force of mass and muscle, armored up with every rep, forged by sweat, sculpted by struggle. And yet, behind the beast is a relentless spirit, one that refuses to quit, refuses to slow down, and refuses to accept limits. When Andre steps into the gym, it's like watching a gladiator enter the Colosseum. The weights don't stand a chance. Machines bend, plates rattle, and the entire atmosphere shifts because everyone knows the monster has arrived. What makes him truly terrifying isn't just size, it's balance. Symmetry locked in with sheer density. He's not just big, he's complete. Every angle, every pose, every muscle tied together like a masterpiece from another dimension. And when the light hits his body, the shadows carve even deeper, making him look less like a man and more like a creature from mythology, part human, part titan. Andre Smeeve doesn't chase trends. He doesn't follow crowds. He builds himself into something the world can't ignore. A modern monster with old-school brutality. the kind of powerhouse that inspires awe and fear at the same time. So, remember this name, Andre Smeev, because when you think of size, strength, and the raw meaning of power, his image will haunt your mind. He isn't just a bodybuilder. He is the storm, the thunder, the earthquake wrapped into one. He is living proof that the monster isn't out there in the dark. It's right here, walking among us, lifting, grinding, and dominating. This is Andre Smeev. This is what happens when muscle goes beyond human and crosses into the realm of the monster. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves because what you're about to witness is not ordinary, not normal, not even human in scale. This is the rise of a true monster in the world of bodybuilding. A man whose presence sends shockwaves through every gym he walks into. A man whose size, shape, and raw power make people question reality itself. We're talking about Andrew Jacked, the walking giant, the living juggernaut, the beast that bodybuilding never saw coming. Look at him. "6'2", towering like a skyscraper, packed with muscle that seems carved out of steel. Andrew Jacked is not just big. He's wide, he's tall, and he's carrying a structure that looks like a superhero was ripped out of a comic book and dropped straight into our world. His chest explodes outward like slabs of armor. His shoulders are mountains sitting on top of mountains, and his arms? They look like cannons ready to fire at any moment. What makes Andrew different from the rest? It's not just his size. It's the way his physique looks, clean, aesthetic, yet monstrous at the same time. His waist is tight, his lines are sharp, but his muscles are inflated like they're trying to burst through his skin. Every vein, every cut, every flex turns him into a living statue of power. When Andrew Jacked steps on stage, the crowd doesn't just cheer, they roar, because they know they're not looking at an average bodybuilder. They're staring at something rare, something special, something so massive it feels almost alien. Imagine standing in front of him, your head barely reaching his chest, his frame making you feel like a child. That's the energy Andrew Jack brings. And let's not forget his journey. This monster didn't appear overnight. He built himself through blood, sweat, and relentless discipline. Every rep in the gym, every ounce of food, every brutal training session, all of it stacked on top of his already insane genetics to create this freak of nature. His legs are like tree trunks, his quads sweep out wider than doors, and his hamstrings hang like slabs of meat ready to crush anything in their path. His back is so wide it looks like he could block the sun if he stood in front of you. And when he hits that most muscular pose, forget it. He doesn't look human anymore. He transforms into a monster, a war machine, a living weapon built out of flesh and steel. Fans call him a future champion. Some call him unbeatable. Others call him the next evolution of bodybuilding. But one thing is for sure, Andrew Jack has become the nightmare of anyone standing next to him. Because when he flexes, he doesn't just compete. He dominates. His presence alone crushes the confidence of his rivals. Andrew isn't just a competitor, he's a phenomenon. He's the kind of bodybuilder who makes even legends take a second look. Because his structure, his proportions, and his mass all scream one word: destiny. The destiny to rise, to conquer, to take his place among the greatest monsters this sport has ever seen. So the next time you hear the name Andrew Jack, don't think of him as just another athlete. Think of him as a beast forged for battle, a monster too massive to ignore, a giant that bodybuilding will remember forever. Andrew Jack, not just a man, not just a bodybuilder, but a monster unleashed. The stage is set. The air is heavy. The lights burn brighter than ever, and the crowd roars like thunder as two monsters step into the battleground of bodybuilding's ultimate war. This is not just another showdown. This is MR, Olympia 2025, and at the heart of it, two beasts stand head-to-head. Nick, the mutant Walker versus Derek, the Terminator Lunsford. Nick Walker, the freak of modern bodybuilding, a walking juggernaut with granite-thick muscle and veins that crawl across his body like raging rivers. His arms look like twin cannons locked and loaded, his chest built like armor, and his legs colossal tree trunks that shake the stage with every step. Nick Walker doesn't walk. He stomps, like a monster released from the shadows, ready to devour anyone in his path. But across the stage stands Derek Lunsford, the man who redefined bodybuilding symmetry, a perfect balance of size, shape, and razor-sharp conditioning. Derek is a storm contained in human flesh, with 3D roundness that explodes under the lights. His back, wide as wings, flaring like a cobra ready to strike. His presence isn't just seen, it's felt, like an electric surge ripping through the arena. This isn't just a battle of bodies. This is a battle of ideologies. Nick Walker represents raw freak factor, an untamed monster whose size and density push the human limit. Derek Lunsford is the definition of balance, aesthetics fused with power, a machine built to dominate every mandatory pose with deadly precision. When the front double biceps pose hits, Nick Walker unleashes a mutant-level explosion, biceps peaking like mountains, abs etched like concrete. The crowd screams in disbelief at his thickness. But then Derek steps forward, his proportions flawless, his arms, shoulders, and waistline flowing like a living masterpiece. One man looks like a monster forged in chaos, the other like a warrior carved by the gods. But the real war comes in the back poses. Nick Walker's density is unreal, his back like a fortress, traps and lats forming a wall of muscle. Derek, though, spreads his lats like a predator opening its wings, showcasing one of the most dangerous backs in the game. Detail, width, and conditioning combined into something nearly unbeatable. The crowd doesn't just cheer, they scream like they're witnessing history. This is more than muscle. This is mindset. Nick Walker, fueled by grit, pain, and obsession, is the beast who refuses to be broken. Derek Lunsford, powered by focus, discipline, and unmatched precision, is the soldier who never misses a target. They are gladiators locked in a war for the throne, and there can only be one king. As the final callouts burn into the night, the arena shakes with energy. Walker stands like an unstoppable juggernaut, every vein, every muscle screaming power. Lunsford stands like a flawless war machine, a physique built for Olympia domination. The judges' eyes burn with pressure, the fans chant in chaos, and the world knows they are watching one of the most dangerous battles in bodybuilding history. Mr. Olympia 2025, Nick Walker versus Derek Lunsford. The Freak versus the Flow. The Mutant versus the Terminator. This isn't just bodybuilding. This is war. This is monstrous. This is legendary. Because when two monsters collide on the Olympia stage, the world will never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of mass monsters. And today, we are talking about a titan straight out of Slovakia, a man built like a warrior, a human mountain of muscle, the beast himself, Michael Krizo. When you see Krizo, you don't just see a bodybuilder, you see a living monster, a creature carved out of pure power and brutal size. Standing at 6 feet tall and weighing over 290 pounds in the OFF season. Krizo is not just big, he's terrifyingly big. His arms look like cannons ready to explode. His shoulders are so wide, they cast a shadow over the stage. And his chest, it's like a wall of stone, ripped and striated to the max. This is a man who doesn't just train. He wages war against the iron. Every rep is a battle. Every set is a war zone. The way he destroys weights. It's like the gym was built just for him. His veins burst out like electric cables, running across arms and forearms, as if his body is surging with voltage, ready to detonate at any second. Krizo didn't just come to compete. He came to conquer. His entry into the IFBB Pro League was like an earthquake, shaking the bodybuilding world, making everyone turn their heads and watch. with his size, conditioning, and that classic Eastern European mass monster look. Krizo is a threat to any stage he steps on. But let's talk about his most legendary feature, his arms. When you see Krizo hit a front double biceps, it looks unreal. His biceps are round, peaked, and exploding out of his skin. His triceps drop like horseshoes made of steel. Together, they create some of the biggest, most freakish arms in the entire sport. Some say they're even among the best of all time. And then there's his presence. When Krizo walks on stage, the crowd doesn't just cheer. They roar, because they're witnessing a monster in human form. Every pose is a statement. Every flex is a warning to his competition. He's not here to participate. He's here to dominate. His journey has been nothing short of ferocious. From slaying stages in the amateur ranks to blowing up the IFBB pro scene, Krizo has built his legacy with blood, sweat, and pure determination. He is known for his brutal training sessions, his massive strength, and his monster work ethic. But here's the reality. Michael Krizo isn't just a bodybuilder. He's a symbol of what happens when human potential is pushed to the absolute limit. He is the definition of mass, of size, of power. When people talk about monsters in bodybuilding, they talk about Michael Krizo. So, to everyone watching, remember this name, Michael Krizo. The mass monster from Slovakia, the beast with arms of thunder, the man who turned the stage into his battlefield. And whether it's Mr. Olympia or any pro show in the world, one thing is clear. When Krizo steps on stage, he's not there to play games. He's there to unleash the monster within and remind the world that size still matters.